Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Mark My Brain. Today I am joined once again by my dear friend Sam,
Hello.
and we've decided we want to talk a bit more about our experience with studying abroad. In particular, what were our biggest challenges, what benefits we see from that experience, what we had to overcome, work through, and how did the whole experience change us, and what we take away from it. I think it's going to be a very interesting topic, beneficial to some of you, perhaps. So let's just delve right into it. Maybe we can start by adding some context to who we are, what we are studying.
For sure.
So, Sam, who are you? What are you studying?
Hi, I'm Sam, once again, a guest on this podcast. Thank you. I'm currently at the last bit of my master's here in Munich, and I'm studying business administration, which I already did in my bachelor's as well. And yeah, during my studies, I really enjoyed going to an Erasmus in Finland during my bachelor's and to Florence in my master's, and experiencing different cultures, different nationalities, and also types of uni systems during those. But most importantly, having a great time and meeting great new friends.
Oh, what a great intro! Nice, perfect. So me, I'm studying at Prague, business administration as well, and I've only done one Erasmus or one study abroad in Florence, where we actually met with Sam and our friendship began. And it was a very interesting and overall a great experience. So I am excited to talk about it. So let's take it step by step. What led you, Sam, to the decision to go and study in a different country?
Good question. I would say mainly to experience a different country, unlike you are able to experience this during your holiday, for example. I mean, if you, as you probably know, during a holiday, you're doing a lot of things, seeing a lot of new things, and gaining more experiences, but you're also in a sort of bubble of tourists, of destinations.
Yes.
And during an Erasmus or during an extended stay abroad, you really get the opportunity to connect also with the local people, to build habits in a different country, to really see the ups and downs of living there. And also you are able to really dive deep into a certain country, city, or region by taking your time, seeing the little things, enjoying maybe the path that's not usually taken by a lot of people. So it's a great way to gain new experiences. But what's in it for you? Like why did you choose it, Mara?
Actually, it was kind of similar. Maybe with the difference that I didn't do an Erasmus in my bachelor studies, and I sort of regretted it, or I had regrets about it because friends were coming back from the exchange program with so many great stories and memories and very excited about the whole experience. And I was like, damn, I am missing out here something. So then when I started my master's, I decided, okay, I will do this. I have the opportunity to do this. And yeah, also maybe just like a little bit of a challenge. I just wanted to try it.
Yeah,
Uh, sort change of environment and different groups to see how well I will manage in a
for
different
sure.
country.
I mean, that's also a big part of it, right? Just to challenge yourself to new things, get out of your comfort zone, try it out, and see what happens.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. So it seems like before you even went to do an Erasmus, you like thought about it to a big
Hmm.
extent.
For sure.
Did you have any specific goals for your exchange?
Not necessarily. I would argue, of course, having a great time, meeting new friends,
Mm-hmm.
gaining connections all over the world, but also just to have a nice time, a good semester, fun,
Yeah.
experience new things. But I would say I didn't have a grandiose plan of this is the 10 things I want to accomplish. But of course, you need to be, or it helps if you're interested in the place you go to, if you kind of are internally motivated to get to know the country, the people, the
Mm-hmm.
location, the city. That was the case for me, and that also really benefited me in that way that I was motivated to do stuff and really enjoyed learning and seeing, um, yeah, the area around Florence and also in Finland.
So, what led you to choose those destinations? Because those are very, very different destinations, right?
For sure, for sure. Um, Different aspects. I mean, an Erasmus is on the one hand some sort of cultural exchange, like you need to be interested in the culture, but also it's an academic endeavor. It
Mm-hmm.
should at least have some sort of connection to what you're doing to you further your studies, which is usually required by the universities when applying for an Erasmus abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so for Finland, I would say it um, was the nature, like gaining insights into like Nordic countries. Why does the rumor exist that Finns are one of the happiest people in the world?
Mm-hmm.
What's that about? How is it to experience very little sunshine during the winter? Also to kind of get to know more of the Scandinavian way of life, as they, I would argue, these people are quite reserved usually.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to take the time to become friends and become parts of their friend groups really was a good motivator for me to go there. On the other hand, their academic system is quite renowned, so I was curious. I wanted to check it out, and it was great. I'm sure we will talk about it more during the following minutes, but for Florence, it was on the one hand, I love Italy. I love the
Mm-hmm.
culture, the people, the way of life. I wanted to be able to experience it for a longer time, and also I wanted to have a kind of opposite to Finland, to its academic system, to its culture, way of life, and those things balanced out perfectly. And I'm happy
Nice.
to do both.
Nice.
But
Nice.
just the same question back to you. Like, why Florence? Why Italy? What motivated you to go there?
I think partly it's similar to your answer. I always romanticized Italy a bit, I would say. Um, I love this lifestyle of Italians, the sweet life, the dolce vita, you know.
Yes.
And so for me, it was, yeah, I would say mainly curiosity. How is it to live in such an environment, to experience it firsthand and in a bigger depth than ever before? And the additional benefit or what drove me to Florence as well was the historical aspect. There are so many museum, art galleries, and historical monuments which I'm very interested in. So it was like the perfect package. And of course, the Italian food, you know, we don't even have to mention it, but
No.
it was just like the complete perfect Erasmus package. So I was
Yes.
like, yep, I want to go there.
Yes. But did you also had to do a tier list of what destinations you want to go to, or could you
Yes.
just pick one?
Yes, we did a tier list like with priorities.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
Same
similar.
for same
Yeah.
for us, yeah.
Yeah. And I actually put just Italy there. I think I
Yeah.
put both of the Florence faculties there. Rome, then there was Milano,
Mm-hmm.
Turin, and maybe other university as well,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly.
I mean, for me, I had the option or the necessity to pick 4 destinations, and
Ooh,
for
okay.
me, it was also half Italy, half other countries. But my priority picks were definitely Italian cities, and I'm very glad to have gotten Florence for
Nice.
my second Erasmus. So it all worked out in the end.
Yes. Perfect. So, what were you most excited about before going to Erasmus, and what were your biggest fears, would you say?
Ooh, good question. I'm I really enjoy meeting new people.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I was really excited about was to meet new people, new friends in a completely different context. To have that experience that everybody's new in a city, everybody's kind of on the lookout. It's an energy that I really enjoy. Being somewhere new, building something up, and just also building up a connection with the city, with the country, and its culture.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say I was mostly excited about just firstly going to Italy. Like I just enjoy being in Italy, but
As you should be.
yeah. But yeah, just building a new life for half a year, and kind of be having the chance to meet people from all over the world.
Yes, really
And
nice answer.
yeah,
But
talking
were there any fears? Something you were afraid before going? Maybe even before
mm,
your first Erasmus when you didn't have
yeah,
the experience?
yeah, let me think back. I
Mm-hmm.
would say for Florence, I wouldn't say that there were huge fears. I was pretty relaxed, but big part of that was also that first I've been to Italy a lot during my years. During holidays, I knew the city as well. It wasn't like a big black box. I knew what I was getting. And second of all, I already had the experience of one like Erasmus before, the experience of being somewhere new, kind of having the trust of, yeah, even if I don't meet people the first day, I will meet them the first week, and I will
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it, and I will arrive. So that kind of alleviated a lot of the fears, but obviously, there's still concerns like, does everything work with my flat? Will I like the university? Will I like the city? Is it like the city that I imagine it to be, or is it
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
something else? But thinking back to my first Erasmus, there were also, I would say, concerns of how is it to be completely new somewhere in a completely different country with people that you never met. Because in both cases, I didn't know any other people going there except
Mm-hmm.
me. So yeah, I mean, you're jumping in the cold water. You are exposing yourself to completely new aspects and a way of life, and you just have to trust the process.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was concerned about. But in the end, it turned out to be quite unfounded concern, as there are a lot of people in the same situation as you,
Mm-hmm.
and it usually just works.
Yeah.
But like, how about you? How was your plus and minuses before Florence?
Well, I would say for me, some of the concerns you had before going on your first Erasmus, they resonated, or what you said resonated with me. Uh, like you always are thinking about how will it all work out, how will it be to be completely new in a new country, in a new city, without people that you know, uh, trying to make friends. What if I won't make friends? And these types of concerns. But I can also add, just as you said, that these concerns were unfounded, sort of, and everything went very smoothly in those
Mm-hmm.
aspects. And yeah, so that's
Yeah.
about the concerns or fears. And maybe with the excitement, I was very excited for. mm I would say I was excited
Mm.
about what I also feared, like the part
Okay.
of
Okay.
being completely in the new city with the new people
Right.
that I don't
Right.
know
Right.
and building basically a new life there.
Right.
It was something I had concerns about, but it was also something that really excited me because
Mm-hmm.
uh, at at some level it's also a challenge for yourself,
For
right?
sure. For
Yeah.
sure. It's a huge challenge. But would you say this? I mean, you talked about the fears were unfounded. Would you say the excitement was reasoned with? Was it like the thing you expected, or was it better or worse?
You mean like the
The things you were excited about, um, did it came to fruition? Did you
oh
feel in the end my excitement was justified?
I would say yes, it surpassed my expectations. I would say in this regard, yeah, it was much more intensely positive.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
Yes, and as I mentioned, like everything went so smoothly and clicked. The different parts of it clicked into each other, so the whole experience was just phenomenal. Yeah, and the excitement was real. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Was there something about your Erasmus, either first or second, that really surprised you? Uh,
Surprised in a way of not expecting it, or
I would say so, yeah.
good question. For me, I would say a thing that I really enjoyed in both of my very, very different Erasmus periods is how good you can get to know people in quite a short period of time, and
Hmm.
how those friendships develop quite quickly in a way, but also not superficial friendships. So I would say I was surprised is a strong word for this, but I was pleasantly, um, yeah, surprised by how great the friendships are that come out of these periods, and how tight knit the friendship groups are, and also how much you can like really get to know each other in essentially quite a short time. If you think back, half a year is what did you do the last half a year? Was it a lot? Was it little? But during an Erasmus, it feels like an eternity, and also like a really short time. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah. I know what you mean.
yes, but did you have like something that really surprised you?
I had one, or like in general, one pleasant surprise about Erasmus, because maybe also one of my concerns before going was that it will be only about like drinking and partying,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm
Yes.
not that big on partying, drinking.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a bit concerned how will I fit in with groups of people that only want to
Right.
party and
Right.
drink and
Mm-hmm.
nothing else. But I was pleasantly surprised that those weren't like the, the main things or activities you do at Erasmus.
Yeah.
And I've very quickly found that you can always find people that are interested in different types of activities and events. Someone is interested in like exploring the history of the city. Someone wants to uh, try a new art form, and you can go with them. Someone just wants to go on hikes, and there are as well the people that are mainly interested in drinking and partying.
Of course.
But you have so many options because there are many other students and exchange students that you can always find someone who you really resonate with on the level of like activities and what you want to do. So yeah.
For sure. That's a good point. I'm happy it worked for you like
Thank
that.
you.
And I can just like support that point. There are so many different people and so many different reasons to come, so many different types of activities that are being enjoyed and
Hmm.
also hosted by the home university there, by clubs, by sports facilities, by orchestras, whatever. Um, that it's just on you to pick what you would like to do,
Yes.
and the chance is pretty high that you will find people that will enjoy the same thing or thought of the same activity or are enthusiastic about the same topics as you are. And so it's not a one-dimensional thing of, oh, this is Erasmus. No, you can make your own Erasmus. You can create your own experience, and there will be people along the line, along the way that will join you in whatever you enjoy doing.
Yes. I absolutely agree. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good point. So I'm interested, Sam. How did the first and second experience
Hmm.
differ? What was different? What was similar? Not
Yes.
only between the countries, but also from the your perspective as a person. Like, what was difference about that experience? If you.
Yeah, that's a really valid question. Always a hard one to answer, obviously, but um, first of all, I think one of the biggest differences is from the first to the second is you having already done an Erasmus.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds broad, but it really like shines through in so many areas. It shines through in your kind of confidence in this will work out. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know I can survive in a different country. I know I will make friends. I know roughly what it's about,
Mm-hmm.
like how it works. Of course, it's completely different in each country, but the general idea of it. So I would say that was a huge benefit for the second time. It um, gave me a lot of confidence in just being myself and just knowing, okay, this will work out. That being said, of course, the other side of the medal is doing it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has to do it the first time. It's a privilege to be able to do it twice. So I would say, yeah, stick with it, hang in there. It's an amazing experience, and it's really hard to compare. Um, I mean, the typical question is, if you go somewhere and meet new people and they hear you've already done an Erasmus, what's better? What was the better Erasmus? Like, which city did you like more? And you just there is no way to answer this because first it's a different life period. I would argue in my first Erasmus, I was a bit more focused on just experiencing like the party aspect more,
Mm-hmm.
um, being obviously younger than I was now, but also just out of yeah, um, being there and being in the group and the vibe, which also reflects a lot of what you will do in your Erasmus is who are your friends,
Mm-hmm.
who is the group that you surround yourself with, what are their goals, what do they want to do, and of course what you want to do. But um, yes, so in that regard, I did more of the, I would say, partying and nature the first time around, like really going on hikes
Mm-hmm.
in the wilderness. And in Florence, I focused more on the history and on art, on maybe the lifestyle, going for a coffee with friends. But that doesn't mean one or the other is better. It's just what you
Different.
would like to do. I mean, if you think about your own life, like who are you as a person now? What do you like to do? And that doesn't necessarily have to reflect who you are as a person 3 years ago or what you then would have wanted to do.
Mm.
Um, so I would say, to sum it up, um, it was different in the way that I knew the general concepts of what it will be in Florence in my second Erasmus, but also a lot of the novelty of it. Um, the first, I don't know, stepping out of the airplane in
Mm-hmm.
like a country you're gonna spend half a year in. The first showing up at a new university in a new country and just being kind of floored by, oh, this is what they want me to do. Oh, okay, I can do that, but this is different. Um, that was of course stronger in Finland in my first Erasmus. I would say it was maybe a more novel experience,
Mm-hmm.
but not necessarily a more intense experience.
Okay. Nicely put. Thank you for sharing that. That's very interesting.
Of course, of course.
So, if you had to describe your experience, the first and the second one respectively, in just 3 words. 3 words for Finland Erasmus, 3 words for Florence Erasmus. What would it be?
That's a good question. I mean, I will just say the 3 words that I can think of on the spot. That
Yeah.
might not be the best, but that's the ones I think about.
Mm-hmm.
For Finland, I would say, as I already talked about, novel. Like it's a
Mm-hmm.
novel experience. It was also for me the first time being in the Scandinavian countries.
Ooh, nice.
So there were a lot of new things, whereas in Florence I knew Italy pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So novel would be the first. Um, it was fun. Just
Mm-hmm.
I really really enjoyed it. I have so many fond memories of trips, of friends, of just sometimes plain ridiculous things we did. Um, like it was minus 30 degrees, and we thought, let's hop in the sauna and then hop in the snow, just doing some fun stuff.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, and the third word would be, um, I would say nature. It's really broad, but
No, it's
we
fine.
we did a lot of nature trips and driving, like riding the bike to some random fucking lake in the middle of nowhere to watch the northern lights, or
Mm-hmm.
the potential to see them. And did some hikes, but that's Finland. Finland is a country with a lot of empty space and great nature. So I would say that.
Yeah,
And
completely valid answer.
yeah,
So
I mean,
Finland, novel, fun, and nature.
yes.
Nice, nice.
But before I do my Florence three
Okay.
words, how about you? Like, what would you say would be your three
Hmm.
words for Florence?
Yeah.
Sticking with the first Erasmus experience here.
Yes, yes, yes. I would say freeing
Mm-hmm.
because with me experiencing it for the first time. With me experiencing it for the first time, uh, the complete independence you have on the structures you are used to in your old life is very, very freeing, or at least that's how it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly I felt very, I would say, lightweight in
Oh,
certain
yeah.
sense. So freeing is something that comes to mind. Warm,
Mm-hmm.
not only because Italy and the weather and the culture,
Yes.
maybe, but
Yes.
also because what you already touched on, the very strong friendships you build with other people there, and the shared experiences and memories. And yeah, I hope that they will be the friendships you build there, that they will be for the rest of your life
For
or for the
sure.
rest
For
of my
sure.
life. And yeah, you get really close with people you've never before seen, and you share this amazing experience together. So yeah, I would
Mm-hmm.
say warm. And the last one, difficult.
Yeah. It's hard to compress it down into 3 words, right?
I would actually say artsy.
Mm-hmm.
Artsy, because not only Florence is, the vibe of the art there is like very intense in a good
Mm-hmm.
way. Like
Yes.
all the historical buildings, the wonder in them, the galleries, museums, everything. But it was also a period of time where I myself came back to some of my own uh, hobbies,
Mm-hmm.
art hobbies, like drawing, sketching. I started this podcast there. So yeah, I would say that freeing, uh,
Warm.
warm, and artsy.
That's a
Yes.
great, great way to describe it.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing it. Um, yeah. So how do I describe my experience in Florence? I mean, you touched upon the kind of art, culture, historical aspects of Italy, of Florence, and that would lead me actually to my first word is culture in a really broad way.
Hmm.
Like going to the opera, going to a concert, really discovering art and the history of art in Florence, in Tuscany, in Italy, which is something I've previously not done on that in that depth and on that level. So it was really interesting to do that, have the freedom to do it, to take the time to come back and even back to the same museum, look at the same pieces, and yeah, experiencing them in a different light. And also doing that with great friends was also an amazing experience. My second word would be um, probably connection.
Hmm.
As we touched upon, you really connect with people on a different level than you usually do. You build really deep friendships.
Hmm.
You you're open to, or at least I felt like I was really open to also, yeah, dive deep in these friendships and talk about things, really get to know each other on like a deep deep level and form like a deep connection, but also connection in the way of to the city and to a country, because I think all the time now, if I drive past Florence, if I'm in Italy, or if I'm thinking about, oh, a little Dolce Vita, let's go. Florence will always have a place in my heart and will be a place that I will come back to, will have a fond memory of, and is a little piece of home. in a different country.
That's very nice. But do you also feel that connection maybe in a sense of connection with yourself? Because that experience helps you
Yes.
discover who you truly are and
Definitely, yeah, for
new
sure.
aspects of yourself.
That's a good aspect for sure. Yes, I mean, I would say connection in the way of discovering things about you. Like how you, I think it's really interesting to see how you approach new situations, approach the challenge that starting a new life somewhere is. And it really, like, for me, it helps me to kind of focus on what I prioritize and focus on what are the things that I am in need of and what I look for and what I would like to aspire to be or aspire to become. So yeah, of course, connection to oneself as well. I think actually Erasmus is like one of the great ways to grow as a person. To
Agree.
jump out of your comfort zone, to do something new, to discover also aspects of yourself that you are maybe not that aware of, or interests that you might not otherwise develop that fast. But yeah, and to finish off the three words, um, what will I pick for my last one? I would say maybe something connected with like who you are after the Erasmus. So kind of growth in a way that you grow into a different person, you grow into a version of yourself that you might have not otherwise become. You grow into, I think, a freedom that, or the belief that the world is not so different after all, in a way that you can live anywhere, you can find a great life wherever you go with whomever you decide to do it. And that was like one of the things I really enjoyed. And just being able to grow, to widen your horizons, to experience new things, to meet new friends, to gain insights into things you would have otherwise not have been. So yeah, growth would be my third word.
I think that's an excellent like ending to this question. A growth, yeah. That's like all encompassing the whole experience, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
nice. So culture, connection, and
Growth.
growth. Yeah,
Yeah,
so nice. Yeah, thank you for sharing, man.
of course. I mean, thanks for you as well.
For asking such good
Yeah.
questions, right?
No, and for sharing your experience. I mean, maybe someone of you listening to this podcast is thinking about doing an Erasmus, maybe wanting to experience that yourself, find out what three words you would use to describe your experience. And also thinking about what could have been. I mean, Erasmus is, I think, more a mindset than a place. You can also do most of the things we did in your hometown, in your area. So it doesn't have to start with boarding a plane, boarding a train, whatever. But it can also be you setting a new standard to yourself to go out, to explore, to
Meet new
do
people, for
nothing.
example.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Yeah, perhaps the true Erasmus makes it easier in some ways because the new environment, new city,
Definitely, definitely.
it's sort of a necessity, for example, to connect with new people, to explore the city. Without it, you basically won't really function there.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I agree with that statement. It's a lot about the mindset. Yeah. So we talked a lot about all the positives about the Erasmus. But do you have any regrets?
Mm, I wouldn't say regrets. I mean, there are certain things that you would do different. Um, they are, I think, a necessity. Like there are things you would do different in your daily life everywhere. So I wouldn't say those were like big regrets. The one thing I actively tried to focus on in Florence in comparison to my Finland trip was prioritizing getting things done quickly. What do I mean by that is usually my first Erasmus experience in Finland, it took some time to arrive, everything was new, we did a lot of things, uni starts, you're so encompassed in your daily life because it's new, it's novel, it's interesting, um, that by the point where you start to say, oh, I want to do this, and this in my Erasmus, I want to do this trip, I would like to see this. The time has kind of already progressed quite a lot. So you either don't do things
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have the time, or you cram them into short spaces. Um, Even though you had like half a Erasmus where you didn't do anything,
Mm-hmm.
you like chilled, which is also super nice. Like I'm not saying anything against it, but for me, like one of the regrets I would say in my first Erasmus is to that I didn't prioritize like short trips, weekend trips, or like my Erasmus bucket list and activities trips
Mm-hmm.
sooner. And I tried to do that in Italy, and it worked really well. So I don't have like huge regrets
That's nice to
overall.
hear.
But yeah,
Nice, nice.
how about you?
I would say the only regret that comes to my mind around the Erasmus is not going to study abroad in my bachelor's.
Right. Well,
Now,
how did it come to that? Was it a conscious decision, or did you just didn't
yeah,
do it, or
well, the second semester of my bachelor, the COVID pandemic
mm,
started. So
right?
we started not only just studying from home, but also a lot of the Erasmus planned trips
Mm-hmm.
and exchanges were just not happening, like denied,
Right,
and
right.
the borders closed and no travel. You know it well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do.
So in that environment, I was, because it lasted for quite some time, like 2 or 3 semesters at least, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
In that environment, I was kind of like, it's not really worth it. Even if I do sign up for Erasmus, they will probably deny it. I just want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now now after experiencing the Erasmus in my during my masters, I kind of regret that I didn't push myself maybe during my bachelor's as well to at
Right,
least try it. It might
right.
not have happened, but at least I
Yeah,
would have tried. But you live and learn, I would say.
exactly.
So yeah.
I mean, that's the most important thing that you are now doing things maybe a bit different,
Yeah,
or you were able to go on your Erasmus now in your masters. So,
for sure, for
as you
sure.
said, live and learn, right?
Yes, yes. For example, now the experience sort of led me to thinking, okay, perhaps I could do like internship abroad,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
or something similar, which previously I don't know if I would even consider. So
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, same for me. I'm thinking about it would be great to maybe also work 1 or 2 years abroad
Mm-hmm.
if it fits in the general life plan. But
Yeah. And
um,
do you feel like the Erasmus experience helps with?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
I think, or at least for me, it was the case that it gave me uh, an easiness about things, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. Like I'm just I gained like the confidence to say I'm confident that I will find a good life there wherever
Mm-hmm.
I go, that I will find people I can connect with, that I find things that I enjoy doing, that I feel at home, that I feel like I arrived somewhere and I'm not only a guest. Um, so yeah, I would say the easiness about this
Mm-hmm.
came from an Erasmus. I mean, it's never going to be easy to completely change countries, change
Mm-hmm.
cities, but it made it more doable, I think.
Yep, that's a fair answer.
Yeah.
So now to flip it from regrets and negativity, sort of, to what do you value the most about the experience in general? If you had to pinpoint some certain things,
One thing,
it doesn't
a
have to
few
be
things.
one,
Okay,
but
okay. What I value the most. I think a lot of things we already touched upon.
mm-hmm.
I really value the freedom it gives you to um be the person in the moment in a different country that you in this time period of your life want to be. It gives you the opportunity to discover new things about you, to build new connections to people, to places, to activities that you might have otherwise not been able to connect with. And it kind of forces you to grow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not arguing that you cannot grow as a person while staying in the same city or the same place. Um, but it kind of it the Erasmus is like the push for you to fall into the cold water. Like it forces you to start. It forces you to do all the things that might not be comfortable at first, but benefit you immensely as a person. And in that way, it's a great catalyst for good things to happen. Of
Yes.
course, also hardship, also struggles, but
Mm-hmm.
mainly good things. I would
Yes,
argue.
I
Yeah.
would say even from the hardships and the challenges you will experience, because like there will be some
Mm-hmm.
good things will appear because you will find out that you can deal with these sort of things.
For
Because
sure.
on one hand, on the Erasmus, you don't really have another choice. Like you have to deal with certain things. For
Yes.
example, I can give what came to my mind was
Yes.
getting the codice fiscale at the
Yeah.
in the Italian bureau, which was very interesting because basically nobody there spoke Italian. I don't speak,
Yeah.
or they
English.
didn't speak English. I don't speak Italian, so the communication was kind of difficult. I needed to get this form, it signed, and get my like codice number,
Mm-hmm.
but I needed that for my uh, housing housing contract.
Yes.
So I got it done like with my hands and legs. I showed them what I need, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, Google Translator helped a bit,
For
and
sure.
yeah, I got it done.
Perfect.
But yeah, and also very a lot of other challenges you have to overcome as well, not only with the like governmental or administrative stuff, but with the university in a different language, with the new people, the new, for example, way of life. You'll have to
Mm-hmm.
get accustomed to certain habits, for example,
Mm-hmm.
of the culture of the people there, which might not often be as easy,
Mm-hmm.
but you will find that you can adapt, you can work through all of those hardships and challenges. You can overcome much more than you thought before. So I would argue, yeah, even those things that are at first like unpleasant
Yeah.
are sort of the stepping stones of the overall growth, that I would say is the
That's a great
overarching
point. Yeah.
theme of the Erasmus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a really good point. Like the stepping stones of
yeah,
growth.
I mean, there is that Stoic idea like obstacle is the way, right? So
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
that's basically it applied to Erasmus.
Definitely, yeah. And I mean, it gives you confidence,
Yes.
even
Mm-hmm.
in the moment of, yes, I did it. I got my tax code. I found new friends, whatever was the challenge or
Yes.
the hardship, but also for the future. Like it gives you, I think, more calmness in dealing with your challenges as you kind of shown yourself over and over again. Like I can do this. This is like a thing I'm able to complete,
Yes.
and
Yes.
um,
You
it
have.
is worth it to complete. That's also one thing like for Erasmus that stuck with me was a friend of mine telling me regarding the application to an Erasmus. Oh no, it's a lot of work. You need to put this form in here, and you need to write this, whatever. Um, yes, it is some work. You need to put in some effort, but in the end, it's maybe a total of a week or two
Mm-hmm.
you spend on administrative stuff accumulated over time. But you get so much as a reward for it. You get half a year of new experiences, amazing friendships, amazing places and memories you make. Um, and it stuck really with me that um, sometimes, even if you don't know if the outcome is going to be worth it or good, um, it is still worth it to try and to give it the benefit of the doubt, put in the work, put in the hardship, or on a smaller scale, if you're not sure if an offered trip on your Erasmus will be worth it. Do you show up at 8 in the morning in some random bus station and hope for the best, or do you stay home? And I think the Erasmus kind of teaches you. Sometimes it can be painful to get up, but it's always worth it to show up and do the thing. And I mean that's quite a good lesson to that I learned in my Erasmus periods. That just showing up is often really valuable.
Yes. Yes. I couldn't agree more. Perfectly put. Very nice. So, do you have any other like specific memory or piece of information or some lesson that you would like to share with the listeners?
Yes, I would say
Please do.
I will. I would say the biggest one is do it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you're thinking about it, if you're debating, should I not, where should I go, just do it. Try it. Even if you don't get a place in the city you would have wanted to go to, if you are struggling to put in the work or to formulate your motivation or whatever, just stick with it, stick through it, go to the city you are allowed to go to. Just do it. It sounds cheesy, but it is so worth it to do. You will come back a different person with friends all over the world, with experiences that you are probably otherwise not gonna make. Um, but that would be the biggest one. But on the more specific tip I would give is um, choose your location for the stuff except the university, if that makes sense. The universities will tell you academically that's the most important thing, focus on the academics, the rest will follow. But it's so important to feel welcome in the city you go to have a positive feeling when you think about the city. So take the time, research all the possible destinations, like trust your gut instinct to choose the city you really would enjoy. But also know that no matter where you are, you're gonna have a great experience.
Yes.
It doesn't matter where. Um, there will be nice people. There will be cool stuff to do. So that would be my two pieces of information. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very
what did
good.
you learn? Like what stuck with you?
I will just add to the last point you made that it's 100% sure because I have so many friends that wanted to go to Erasmus to a certain city. They couldn't get there, but they of course had other cities in their list, so they could go there, and they were like, I don't really know if I want to go to this city or this country. Oh, but I guess so.
Hmm.
So they tried it and
Did
they
they like
came
it?
back and they were excited, so excited about the experience. It was actually so awesome. I was so surprised how incredible it was. So yeah, based on those experiences to like just do it, just try it. What's the worst that can happen?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And also, what great things will happen if you do it.
Exactly, exactly.
Um,
And maybe to the sharing of lessons or
yes.
informations we get or takeaways from the experience. Um, I have to reiterate what you said about just showing up. I think it's very important uh, for you to enjoy the Erasmus and to truly experience it to the full potential. So, for example, me, I sometimes get in the mood like, oh, I don't really want to go there, and oh, it will be a hassle to get them back. I have to wake up early, or whatever the excuses is, or it it doesn't necessarily have to be an excuse, uh, but perhaps you're just not in the mood. You're feeling, I don't know, a bit social anxious or whatever. But I found in my own experience that every time you sort of push through this and hype yourself up maybe a little bit and
Yeah,
go there,
yeah, for sure.
just try it, tell yourself, okay, I will just go there. I will have a look. Maybe it will be good. And if I won't like it, I can always go back home. I never
Yeah.
did go back
Yeah.
home. It
Uh,
always paid out. It was always a good decision to go out to try a certain event activity, to go on a trip, even if I didn't really feel like it in the beginning. So
yeah.
yeah, I resonate with that, and I would like to reiterate it.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a great mantra to have. Like, I just go there. If
Yep.
it's not good, you can
Yes.
even just go home again. But you've given yourself the chance to stay. And if you just stay
Yes.
home, you deprived yourself of the opportunity of it being good.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
decided basically for the others that this will not be worth it instead of just having a look.
Yes. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. I just randomly remembered, isn't there like a quote that 90% of all success is just showing up? I think I've read it somewhere. It's
Yeah,
again a bit cheesy, but
it fits the
it
point.
fits the
It
point.
fits the
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
I think we are nearing the end of the episode, so if you should summarize it,
Yes.
why would you recommend or not recommend someone to do a study exchange abroad, to
I
join Erasmus?
mean, I think it became pretty evident during our conversation the last hour that or I would 100% recommend everybody to go on an Erasmus if it is possible, if it's offered by a university. It's an amazing experience, regardless of the country. My I couldn't compare both my Erasmuses, but I would do them both again. It's an amazing way to grow as a person, to gain some confidence, to experience new things, to see places you otherwise wouldn't have, and most importantly, to form friendships that you definitely wouldn't have found otherwise. And it's great. you are able to be more understanding of different cultures, appreciate different cultures, different aspects of different cultures more, and be more open to it. I mean, open to being somewhere new, understanding also what it entails to be somewhere new, and for me also to have a bit more sympathy as well with people that come to your town, to your country,
Mm-hmm.
understand how it is to be somewhere new. And yeah, to close, it's a great time. You will have a lot of fun. You will do things that you will think about for years to come, and yeah,
Friendships
gain a
that
new
will.
home and friendships that will
Yeah.
last. So
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
How about you? Like what would you say?
To add to your points, yeah, the growth, the personal growth you get from that is immense. It's so worth it to go there, and all the things you mentioned, the culture, the new people, the independence you gain, it's great. But for me, maybe what it's mainly about is that it's a great adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And how else should you spend your life than on an adventure? The whole
Yes.
life is a one big adventure.
Yes.
So go and fucking do it. You won't regret it, trust me.
What a great point.
Yeah. Sam, thank you very much for being on my podcast.
Of
It's
course.
pleasure always.
Anytime. I really enjoyed it. Talking to you and talking about our experiences.
Yes,
Um,
it was really fun. Yeah.
Likewise.
Thank you, man.
Of course.
And
All the time.
to our listeners, we'll probably say goodbye.
Goodbye. Do it.
Do it. Exactly. Just do it, to quote Nike. And you won't regret it. Yeah, we
Yes.
guarantee it.
Yes.
Yes. So
Goodbye from my side.
goodbye from me as well, and hear you soon.